Hello, TK1636,
TK69937.
and we have the Anovos kit, which is Jay's kit, and then we have the RS kit, which is Andy's kit. The Anovos kit is done. The RS is about 7/8 of the way done. Just got a few little minor things. But we'll go ahead and show you because Jay's taking his home, and he'll be able to wear it for this coming weekend, next weekend?
Yeah, this weekend, yeah.
So I want to go ahead and do this video so that he can go ahead and take his kit home, and I can finish this on its own. So right now we'll just go ahead and show a finished helmet. So this is the RS one. I went ahead and put it all together. I painted all the decals, not really decals, but painted to look like decals. So that part's done. I don't have the brow trim and I don't have the neck seal yet. I have it on order from Trooper Bay. It's not the correct one, but there was a snafu, so the ones that came with the kit didn't show up. But once they do, then we can swap them out real easy. The Anovos one, the only difference that we did is everything is still the Anovos decals except for this last part of the tooth on both sides, and then what's this again?
Tube stripe.
The tube stripes, there you go, thank you. And then he's going to get different aerators and not use the Anovos ones for his EIB and Centurion picks. Now the torso. So again, the torso on the RS is not 100% done. I still need to do the shoulder straps. And then I need to get the holster. Once the holster's in, I can put the holster in. But pretty much both of them together, they're the same height, just a little bit different color. And then the details are just a little bit sharper, mainly just this little washboard part right here. Other than that, pretty much the same. And then I still have to do the little boxes right here to cover the rivets. But pretty much everything's the same, set up the same exact way, one kit to the other. The only difference is some of the strapping from the RS from the UK. They have different strapping. The snaps that they use is what they use in the movies. A lot of that stuff you can't get here. You have to order from over there, and it's easier just to use like the Tandy Line 24 snaps. The Rob Kittle belt for both of them, the RS one was a little too short, so we went ahead and just got a Rob Kittle one instead of getting another one, because Rob Kittle's super fast and he's a very good price. So this one is strapped a little bit different in the inside. I usually use nylon because it holds up a lot longer for trooping. Here in the kit he has a lot of elastic, so I use a lot of elastic on the sides for both sides right here. For the split rivets, I like to use nylon. Here it'll stretch a little bit more. There it won't stretch. So over the years of trooping, this will stay the same. This one will get a little bit bigger over time. Just depends on how many times you use it. One thing Jay has noticed is this armor is a little bit lighter and the plastic isn't quite as thick as Anovos. If you put it up right here, you can tell how much it'll bend in. So if this does get caught, it'll flex quite a bit and it won't crack and it won't discolor the plastic anymore. So compared to other kits, both of them, I like the flexibility. I like how they can give, especially when it comes to the metal brackets and moving a lot, the plastic will flex with it. Alright, so I have not finished the arms. I'll go ahead with the left arm. I still have to sand a little bit of the return edge off all the way around on all of them. So I haven't put the black elastic strap in yet, and I haven't put in the bicep clip either. And if you look here, you can see a line 24 Tandy snap here. It's a different UK snap. This is more towards the movie, and this one is more towards what you can get at any hardware store or a specialty store. But if you look at both of them, They're exactly alike. The only difference is this one's just a little bit smaller. I built it a little bit smaller, and then the color is a little bit different, and then also the ridges is just a little bit sharper. But other than that, unless you're trained, you're not going to know which kit is different. And what I was showing Jay earlier is on this left side, when you do the forearm, you line it up at the bottom, and then the top lines up, and the bottom lines up. On the other arm, if you look at it, the right side, on the inside part, it lines up. On the outside part, it doesn't. So we lined it up at the very bottom, and then it has just a tiny bit, maybe a half inch, quarter inch, half inch, where it goes down just a little bit. So if you're building your kit and you notice they're not lining up, line it up at the bottom, and then it'll give you this little funny looking edge right here. So here's both of the kits together. So looking at it from here, I think the Anovos one is just a little bit duller than the RS, and then the color is just a little bit different. Both of them could definitely use a shining. It all depends if you want to be shiny white or if you like just a slight bit, not quite as glossy look. Either way is acceptable. And then we got the hand plates. So I haven't finished this one, but they're basically the same. All I have to do is just put the elastic straps. One, I put 2 in. You don't have to, but I feel when you put 2 in, one goes around your wrist, one goes around your palm. That way, when you're holding your weapon, if it's around your wrist part, it could stick out when you move your hand down, or vice versa. If you have it this way, it could pop out this way. So I like to use 2 because it keeps both sides down, so no matter how you move your hand, it's going to stay on your wrist. And then the thermal deck, this one isn't complete yet. Right now, without any cutting, this was 7 inches wide. I had to cut down, I can't remember exactly if it was a quarter inch or half inch or an inch, but I did have to cut some of the Anovos down because the tube was too long. And then the brackets, if you look to the side, the bracket shape is just a little bit different. This one is more screen accurate, but this one is still acceptable. The ends, everything, it's the same. I just have to sand this down just a little bit more so it fits on. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze. Once I bevel these down a little bit, it'll fit on. When I put them on, I have to trim these down too to the right height or length. I want to make sure that they're butted up against the bracket right here. This one, RS, already had them bolted on. This one, yeah, we had to put them on, didn't we?
Right.
Yeah, this one we had to put on. So hopefully, when I put them on, when I bevel this down and put them on, this piece should line right up, just like that. And then the control panel, both the same. When you put it on, the little donut or the circle goes up top, and you butt them up right here on the bottom of the bracket. So it's touching the bracket, just like that. And then I just use E6000. Everything else I use the super glue, the Zappa-Gap. But this one, I use the E6000. Sometimes, like this one, I didn't have to paint it, so I can use the super glue. This one I didn't paint, but other kits, sometimes you have to paint the tubing. It's not gray. So the E6000 sticks a lot better to paint than super glue. And then just depends on if you're using E6000 or super glue. But I'll probably just super glue this one on. And now we'll go to the thighs. So here's the left thigh. I haven't finished with it yet. I still need to put this little strap up here. On the screen accurate one, I want to say, I have it in there, it's either an inch or 2 inch wide. It's really long, it's elastic. I don't really like using elastic, especially when you're trooping a lot. The nylon will not flex, so over time it's not going to grow longer. So this will stay once you have it adjusted, and this is all glued in. Go ahead and flip it over. Both sides are glued down, so this will not move. Once we have it glued to exactly where we want it, and the belt goes through right here, this thigh will stay on your thigh exactly where you want it. So when you put the shin up here, you have the right gap every time. When you use elastic, over time the elastic will stretch and your thigh might tend to go down. But if you look at both of them, they're both the same height, they both look the same. Turn around back, they're both the same. I still have to sand quite a bit of the return edge though. Okay, and then here's the other thigh. So the kits are, I think this is the left thigh is the same, the right thigh, the kits are just a tiny bit different. This one, they both come up into a point. This one, it doesn't quite, I had to kind of melt it and bring it in. I still have to sand it, and I actually have to put the ammo knee on, so it's going to kind of hide where it doesn't quite come together right there, but it also doesn't come together perfectly up top. On this one, it does. On both kits, just like all the fronts of the arms, I did a 10 millimeter on both sides. So both of these are 10 in the front, and then we adjusted the length in the back to fit him. So his is a little bit bigger than this one, but you have a little bit of play. You can cut a lot off to make it fit you, or you can cut a little off as long as it fits you. But that's the only difference between both the legs is the top part right here. And now the shins. So I don't know why, but for some reason RS sends you 2 of each side of the shin, so they're both exactly the same. The Anovos, they have 4 different shins, but it's really hard to put them together unless you really know what you're doing. First time go, it's really hard to get the shins. On this one, this is the left side. It should come in more this way, and it should barely come in on the outside. The inside should come in more. So this one is good. It comes in more this way, barely comes in. And then if you look at the Anovos, same thing. It barely comes in right here, and it should come in more here. And then also we didn't put in the sniper knee, or I had to put in the sniper knee, which is easy. I just ran out of time, but a couple hours I'll be able to get that in. All the parts that I need. So with that being said, again, this one, so there's more of a curve here, there's less of a curve here. It should actually be the other way around. It should be more of a curve, because this is the right side. It should be more of a curve here and less here, but they sent us the same leg, so we kind of they give you lemons, we make lemonade. So we figured it out. On the Anovos one, their legs too, you can see more of a curve here and less here. It's really hard to see, but it's in there. These are, compared to other kits, these are a lot harder to figure out the shins. But once you get it down, it's not too bad. One thing I did notice with these shins, the RS compared to the Anovos, is there's a lot of a gap here. They don't quite go together, but obviously once you put these in, the little hooks, it'll bring it in closer. But without the hooks in, we haven't heated it or anything. There's a gap. Hold that. But on the RS, they both come together nicely. There's very little bit of gap at all, just at the bottom. If you go in here, if they were together, there wouldn't be any gap. Let's look at the other side real quick. Get the other one. So on this one, there is just a tiny bit of gap that way, but they fit together nicely, where they both come together. This one, it's the same way. The Anovos is the same way. We didn't heat them up, but once you put the shin straps in, then they actually fit together nicely. And then this one actually doesn't have too much of a gap like this. So it's not too bad, but the RS definitely fits together a lot nicer. I still have to do, the cool thing about the RS is they label everything. So it has their little logo, RS, I can't see that well, Prop Masters, Stormtrooper strapping pack, 1 inch, white elastic, for Shin closure. There's 6 of them. They're 5-inch long with hooks. So these are actually bra clips that they sew in. And if I didn't say before, all their snaps, they sew them in. They're all hand sewn. So everything is sewn in. It takes a long time to do it. I like the Tandy ones because you just set them in with your tool and it's done. These, you actually have to sit there and sew everything in. It comes with the kit, so you don't really have to do it. They do it. Anovos, the stuff that came with Anovos kit, I threw it away. And I basically, every way that they strapped it in the movie and it comes with RS, I did the same thing with the Anovos. I didn't use any of their Velcro, none of their elastic. Everything was thrown away. I went to Joann's and bought all my elastic. I went to Tandy, bought all the snaps, and I put it together. So I did everything that the RS does other than sew in the bra clips and sew in any of the snaps. And that's it. So we do have a video of you wearing it. We haven't posted it yet. So as soon as we get done posting all these videos, you'll be able to see him and another guy that I helped put together his ATA, and you'll see both of them in that video. And you'll also see, I think we made a short video of you explaining how you joined the 501st.
Right.
So we'll put that one in. Thank you for watching. Just remember to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. All right, bye-bye.